The MSMEs have a good product, service on hand. Without marketing, it won't reach the customers. So, marketing is very, very important in business. We have with us today the marketing expert, Mr. Rajesh Srinivasan, who is a modern marketing strategist, author, and a TEDx speaker. He is the founder of a boutique consulting firm, Mindful Marketing, where he advises CEOs and business owners on marketing and growth strategy. He is the author of the book Growth Nuggets and Marketing Success Formula. His books have been featured in various magazines like Business Today, The Week, India Today, and Business Standard. He is also the part time lecturer for top B schools like the Indian Institute of Management, National Institute of Fashion Technology, and MICA. Mr. Rajesh Srinivasan has extensive industry experience of over 20 years in the real estate, hospitality, consulting, media, and advertising industry. He is an alumnus of the Indian Institute of Management, IIM Lucknow's Executive Education Program, and was the batch topper. May now request Mr. Rajesh Srinivasan, founder, Mindful Marketing, modern marketing strategist, 2X author, Chennai, to speak on Customer Ecstasy is a New Normal. Now the floor is yours, sir.
Good evening, all of you. I think Mr. Kumaravel's session is more of like a reading a book, right? Reading a book of motivation, entrepreneurship, and leadership. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So now I'm going to start this session with a kuti story, or small story. Are you ready for that? Okay, so let me introduce you to the hero of this story. Okay, so his name is Doug Deach. He is the lead designer of General Electric's MRI scan device. You must have seen this device, right, in the hospital. He is the lead designer of this MRI device. This gentleman has recently retired from GE, but way back in 2013, he was just wrapping up a design project where he rolled out an MRI scan after working for 2.5 years. So now he's going to launch this MRI scan. It's going to get installed in a children's hospital in Pittsburgh. Okay, so he was quite excited because he has worked for 2.5 years in that mission. And he was very eager to see how technicians are using it, how kids are using it, using his own MRI scan device. So he was entering into the hospital on that particular day after installing the MRI scan device. He just wanted to understand people's mindset, technicians' feedback. It's a good thing, right? So he was casually interacting with the technician. He was all pride about his new invention. So he thought it's the best mission in the world because he has submitted that mission, that new MRI mission, for an International Design Excellence Award. It's kind of Oscars to designers. So this gentleman, our hero, Doug Deach, was casually interacting with the technician and casually asking him how things are going on and how people use this device. Suddenly the technician told that, Mr. Deach, can you just wait for some time in the corner because I have a kid patient to take some scan. So Doug thought, yes, I'll wait in the corner of the room because it's very important. Let me also learn and see how kids use this device. So he was casually moving out and standing in the corner of the room and observing this. Now, inside the room comes a small kid, a girl entering into this room along with the father and mother. Frightened, totally frightened. Even we adults, in the MRI scan, it's fearful, right? You would have experienced, a lot of people. The chamber, inside the chamber, placing our head for 5 minutes, sound. So this young kid got frightened. Mama, Appa, enak bayama irukku. நம்ம தான் இந்த வீட்டில் பேசணுமேம்மா இது உள்ளார கொஞ்சம் பொறுமையாரு கொஞ்சம் பொறுமையாரு. So Doug, the inventor of this mission, was all proud of this device, casually standing and seeing all this. He's an emotional man. So suddenly the technician is calling the hospital assistant saying that this kid we need to sedate this kid in order to get this MRI scan done. Now this gentleman, Doug, understood that almost 90% of the time, most of the pediatric patients have to be sedated before putting their head inside the MRI scan device. Even I checked this personally with one of my friends. If you have any background on this, you must be knowing. Most of the children who are frightened they have to be sedated before placing their head in the MRI scan device. So this gentleman, there is something happening within him. He was suddenly seeing this situation from the young girl's shoes. Now the mission which he was very proud of, from the eyes of that young girl, it was a big scary mission. So he immediately thought, okay, I need to do something. He could have moved on simply, but what he did is he spoke with this boss and explained the personal crisis which is going through. He was not able to tolerate that. So his boss suggested him to go and approach a school in Stanford, a design school in Stanford. And this gentleman, he had only one objective in his mind. He desperately wants kids to happily use this device. He don't want people to get frightened when they use this device. That's his only objective. He's a normal technician, he's an engineer. But he took an effort to go and do a small workshop in Stanford Business School for 1 week, 10 days. And then came back, spent another 1-2 months time with people in children care, parents, even kids, some product designers particularly, how to redesign this whole product, which makes people get frightened. So what he did is, immediately he rolled out 6 prototypes. He called those prototypes as adventure series. Okay, 6 prototypes, 6 devices without spending huge amount of money, because he knows that his company will not help in redesigning the whole mission in a totally new way. But what he decided to do is, he converted that mission, MRI scan mission, big scary mission, as a game. So the first series is the Pirate series, the one which you are seeing now. Here what he did is, he made that chamber which frightened the kids in a pirate theme. You know captain's wheel, right? When we play that pirate game, you'll have a captain's wheel. So he has converted that chamber into the entire room itself in the pirate theme way. So even he gave a script to the technicians saying that if a kid comes, they'll say something like this: now you're going to play a small game here where you need to keep your head. The game is called Pirate Ship Game. What you need to do is keep your head at the top. We will send you inside the pirate ship. All you have to do is just be quiet for 4-5 minutes time, because the ship will be sailing to the other side. Some kind of script like this. So the kids would happily place their heads, and he would send them inside to take the scan, but kids wouldn't know that. And at the other end of the scanning device, they kept a treasure, and they told kids that after 4-5 minutes, we will push you outside the pirate ship, and you have to take the treasure from the pirate's heart, and we will pull you back. So the game is done. So kids thought, okay, this time kids were playing a game. They are not getting into an MRI scan device, even though they have created they have created an entire environment. Similarly, they have created 6 themes for an MRI device. These are some of the themes which they have created. Spaceship. It's a plain MRI scan device. So now, this gentleman, the problem which the Pittsburgh hospital was facing was twofold. One is, every time the kids come, when they are frightened, they have to sedate them. And most of the times, even the anesthesiologists, if they are not available, they have to postpone the schedule to some other day, and the patients have to go through the pain one more time. And the hospitals cannot do scans continuously. It affects their bottom line also. So after doing this, he saw the patient satisfaction score shooting up. The need for sedation dropped significantly, 50-60% of the time. And for Doug, those are not the numbers on one side. For him, the biggest satisfaction came when he visited the hospital one more time and saw a young girl telling their mom, "Mommy, when are we going to come back and take this MRI scan device?" So this is the transformation story. And post which what happened is, this gentleman, even though he was a technician, he started practicing design thinking, and he started applying the principles of human-centered innovation, and changed in a leadership position in GE. When he retired, he was a design thinker. Currently, if you check his LinkedIn profile, he's running his own design thinking firm. The idea is simple. We always say, if you want to understand someone, we have to keep our shoes in others' feet, right? So, okay. So in order to do that, what we have to do, it's not easy. It's easier said than done. So what we need to do literally is, we need to remove our preconceived notion as product owners, entrepreneurs, because when we see from this angle, we will not be able to understand a lot of things. This gentleman, what he was doing, even though he had pride in his own product, when he saw the young girl suffering, getting frightened out of his product, he was able to transport himself into the shoes or into the world of that young girl, right? In Tamil, கூடு விட்டு கூடு பாயிறதுன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஒரு இடத்துலேருந்து ஒரு உடம்புலேருந்து இன்னொரு உடம்புக்கு போகிறது. So that's the need. When we try to make people happy as marketers, as entrepreneurs, the critical aspect, which I would say, is to transport us into the lives of customers. See, what happens is, we think primarily we sell some products or services. But what really happens is, customers are not buying the product or service which provide. They buy something else. Right? So let's say, we think we are selling a car, but what the person is buying? He's buying a social status. The reason why Nano failed is because they played the game of marketing purely from the perspective of functionality, right? But majority of the Indians buy own car for the purpose of social status. For example, I work for a company, I was a manager, now I have been promoted as a vice president, now I need to go to office in my car. So now I have launched, I was toiling in my business, now my business is doing well, I have a affiliation, I have affiliated myself in a membership forum where most of the members would come on car. If I want to go there, I have to go on car. So people are buying social status. It's very, very critical for us when we design products, communicate something to customers, sell it to them. It's not what we sell. They buy things for a different purpose. Clayton Christensen of Harvard Business School calls this as jobs to be done. What people really want to do with your product, if you understand that, you will be able to innovate and market it to them better. Last week, I usually go to a juice parlor near my home. I sometimes go to drink some juices. I also wear the hat of a marketer and see things, try to get some, try to understand things. When I go there, I usually see two types of people when I try to fit in into some segments, right? One segment of people are intimate, young couple kind of people. Mostly they are not married. They'll closely sit, drink juices, and மெதுவா அப்படியே பேசிட்டு இருப்பாங்க. லவ்வர்ஸ் மாதிரி பீப்புளெலாம் the juice parlor. Another set of people, health evangelist, they will come in as a group, 2-3 people. பக்கத்தில் எங்கேயாவது ஜிம்முக்கு போயிட்டு they would have come here. They talk about, testosterone is mostly available in this fruit. Jackfruit has this purpose. I used to overhear all these things. These people, I mean, the young lovers, you wouldn't even hear their voice. They'll maintain some intimacy, but they will also see the product is same, juice. See, you could see two different type of market segments using the same product in the same shop. I would imagine myself, okay, this entrepreneur, if he wants to build a strong brand, open up multiple shops, but a different and unique one, what he has to do? He has two options, two market segments. He can stop selling juices to the mass market and create a juice shop only for this segment, privacy seeking segment, or this segment, health seeking segment. Hope I am explaining this properly, right? So now he has an opportunity, like this gentleman, he can orient the entire shop because these people seek privacy. He can build the cabins or something of that sort for these privacy seeking young couple kind of people. And for health evangelist, he can redesign the whole shop purely based on their story. Even when we go to juice parlors, we see some price menus, but I was sitting there and imagining all these things, okay? So he could even reorient the shop for them to talk about the health benefits. Which juice has B12? Which juice has more testosterone to build your body? He can even engage with few influencers to promote his products and services. Innovation happens when we move from the surface level product service to deeply understand what customers really buy from us. So a lot of reasons people buy, right? These are some of the reasons which I displayed. Another gentleman, we all know him, right? How he applied the human-centric design and reoriented a commoditized auto service business. Everyone, we take auto, right? Even though you provide exceptional service, it's quite common. But this gentleman, I see him as a human-centric designer because since he's there in the market, since he's interacting with customers on a daily basis, he knows what they really need apart from moving from point A to point B, and he brought that innovation. It's innovation is all about adding a few layers. If you notice the innovation which happened at G from our gentleman Doug Deach and this gentleman Otto Annadurai, and another innovation which I have shared as a case, all this has one common thing. You reorient, reinvent your product and add some layer to it. This is a very beautiful example of how innovation happens because he keeps himself at the ground and listens to customers and see what they want really. So now this is the first segment, I would say, focusing, having some human-centric thinking or thought pattern when we innovate. And the second segment, which is very popular now, we can discuss about this now, is the future fully online. How many of you think that future is fully online? Future is online. How many of you agree this statement? Future is technology. Future is digital. Future is big data. Fine, right? So I have a different point of view. Okay, let me share it with you. So now Zoom's stock, let's take Zoom as an example, was trading at $89. This is prior to the pandemic, February 7th, 2020. October 2020, at the peak of the pandemic, same Zoom stock skyrocketed and sold at $559. Same Zoom stock, how much it's selling now? Any guess? Any wild guess? No right or wrong answer. Sorry? 5 times of 559. Wonderful guess. Sorry? $1,000? Okay, good guess. 109. Any guess why this has happened? The bell cow thing? It was sold at 89 before the pandemic. During the pandemic, it has touched multiple times. It has increased in value. But after pandemic, it has come down to the very normal stage. Why? Any guess? Sorry? Okay, good guess, good guess. Yes, very good attempt. Who said Zoom is not necessary? Okay. So let me explain you. Okay. So stock market indices, this is just a stock market price. Even Zoom's sales prior to the pandemic, it was at, let's say, it was at 1 million dollars. Even during the pandemic, October 11th, it has skyrocketed multiple times. But even after the pandemic, it has dropped significantly. Now, any guess why it has happened? Sorry? Okay, you're getting somewhere, yeah? Okay, so now let me explain you. It's a very simple human behavioral idea. I've told you, right? We are enamored in technology. We are enamored in a lot of things which is happening. Now, let me request you to remove that hat of an entrepreneur, all of you sitting here. How many times you used Zoom prior to pandemic? Ask this question yourself. How many times you used Zoom during the pandemic? How many times you use Zoom today? That's the indication. This stock price indicates the sales of Zooms, indicates our behavior. Anyone denies with me on this? Prior to pandemic, we were all doing things very casually in the offline world, met, and we never even thought of Zoom. We were using Zoom. We used it sporadically. But during the pandemic, we were forced to stay inside our home, and we are left with no other option than using Zoom or online video conferencing platforms, because of which the sales of Zoom has increased and the stock price has increased. Once after the pandemic is over, we again start rolling back to the old normal and started doing things. That's why we are here. We are all meeting here, right? Now you're able to connect technology with human psychology, human behavior. This is very critical for us to understand, because all the news media, news channels portray something, but if we remove that from the equation and see our own behavior and connect it with some broad trends, we will be able to see the reality of what's happening. So that's my submission. The reason is, I'll tell you, we humans are social animals. We all know that, right? 2 million years ago, we were in the caves, we were in the plains of savanna, living in small groups of 150 to 200 people. And then we moved to agricultural era 10,000 years ago, and then industrial era 200 years ago. And all these technology which we are seeing now is just 25 to 30 years old, 30-year-old. Prior to that, we were interacting with people. We were living in plains. What evolutionary psychologists today say is, humans, we live in a technology world. We use all the technology device, but still all those primitive behavior is within us, because our genetic code has still not accepted the external conditions. Let me give you an example of what Mr. Anil told. He said, once after I post something on LinkedIn, I go and check it every 30 minutes, right? I would check even 2 minutes once when I do some post, 5 minutes once. Why we do that? It's because we all do this. He's good enough. I'm thankful to him because he has openly shared that irrational behavior with all of us. Why? The success of social media and all these technologies, because they understood clearly about human psychology and evolutionary psychology. As humans, we need, one of the core motivators of human beings is belonging. We seek validation from others. நான் ஏதாவது ஒரு நல்ல விஷயம் பண்ணனா எனக்கு உங்கள்கிட்டேருந்து ஏதாவது ஒரு அப்ரிஷியேஷன் வேணும், என்கிட்டேருந்து வேணும். இது நம்ம குழந்தையா இருக்கும்போதே நம்மள்ட்ட இருக்கு. But what's happening? A like is nothing but a social validation of what I do. If I write a book, I post it on social media and wait how many people like, how many people comment, how many people share. Because I seek social validation as a human being. You're getting my point? So now coming back to our main point of online and offline world argument, we were living on planes, we were interacting with people only at the physical level. Even the new normal, as we call today, it has started immediately after the invention of internet. Last 2 years, it has just accelerated and went into the peak. Internet ஆரம்பிச்சதுலேருந்தே, social media launch பண்ணதுலேருந்தே new normal ஆரம்பிச்சாச்சு. We have stopped interacting with people. Personal engagement, it has reduced dramatically. And last 2 years, we were forced because of an external black swan event. But what happened is we thought, this is the future. This is going to be the future. This is how it's going to happen. But in every other aspect, take schooling as an example. We thought the future of during the 2 years, we thought the future when the schooling, future shopping, future working aspect, the future is all about remote, everyone shared. But after the pandemic is over, even during these 2 years, I have interacted with, I'm not sharing my own personal view. Even if a lot of people who are sitting here are parents, you must have undergone the plight of your kids who stuck inside the Zoom, waiting for emotional connection with their fellow peers. நம்மளால இன்னொரு மனுஷங்களை பிசிக்கலா பார்க்காம இருந்தா, even kids suffered, right, emotionally. Even work from home now, the people think of a hybrid model. Even the big companies who said, we are entering into an era where we will do only remote working. Now are asking their employees to slowly come back to home. I'm not against technology or online. I'm coming to the point. So what's really important is, I've just shared this with you. We as human beings, we cannot ignore. I'm just trying to bring some balance, okay? While you think of everything is technology, digital, and big data, I'm just trying to bring balance. That's what I do even in my day-to-day life. If I'm leading towards one end of the conundrum, if I talk to some people, I get some balance. Because universally, everything is yin and yang, right? We cannot lean on one side of the equation every time. So now, I'll call upon a person. Do anyone of you have a birthday today? Anyone celebrating birthday? Andhra Chambers. So, okay, let's call a member of Andhra Chamber of Commerce to the stage. Or okay, you can sit there, no problem. You don't have to come to the stage. Okay, I'll ask you a question. Today is your organization's birthday, right? Okay, so now you have a member who's just posting a wish. Congratulations, Andhra Chamber of Commerce, on your social media post, Facebook, let's say. One person is doing that. The next person is sending you a WhatsApp saying that, I wish Andhra Chamber of Commerce a happy anniversary of. Third, another person is calling you and wishing you a happy anniversary. Another person like me, what he's doing is, he's coming to your office. Now tell me, நீங்களே சொல்லுங்க, இது 4 வகையான விஷ் பண்ணாங்க உங்களுக்கு. எந்த விஷ் வந்து உங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப ஸ்பெஷலாக ஃபீல் பண்ணீங்க? என்னோட விஷ் தாங்க. இல்லை, நீங்களே சொல்லுங்க, எந்த விஷ் யூ ஃபெல்ட் வெரி வெரி, நீங்கள் மறக்கவே மாட்டீங்க அப்படின்னா எந்த விஷ்? இந்த 4 டைப் ஆஃப் விஷில். எஸ், இது எல்லாத்துலேயுமே பொருந்தும். தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச் ஜோ. யா, தேங்க்ஸ். So I just thought of giving you a real example of how things work, because இதில் நீங்கள் டெக்னாலஜிலாம் ஒன்றும் பெருசாக, அதனால தான் I usually ask people, don't think about entrepreneurship, ideas, product and everything. See what you're doing in your daily life, what makes you happy. Do that to the customers. It's very simple. Right? So I've created a ladder of engagement framework based on what we did. The first ladder says a social media post or a direct message, phone call. At the top of the ladder is meeting in person, meeting people in person. Now, someone of you should argue with me, saying that then what else technology is doing? You looks like, Rajesh, you're going on the other side of the equation where you appreciate intimacy of human relationship. Right? So let's park that question and enter into another segment. So you're calling a call center. Let's say ஒரு பேங்க், உங்களோட கால் சென்டர் பேங்க், ஏதோ ஒரு அர்ஜென்ட், you have some urgent thing you want to discuss with them. You're calling them. For English, press 1. Hindi के लिए 2 दबाएं. தமிழுக்கு என் 3 அழுத்தவும். ஓகே. நீங்கள் சேவிங்ஸ் பேங்க் வாடிக்கையாளராக இருந்தால் என் 1 அழுத்தவும். நீங்கள் கரண்ட் அக்கவுண்ட் வாடிக்கையாளராக இருந்தால் என் 2 அழுத்தவும். உங்கள் கையில் டெபிட் கார்டு இருந்தால் என் 1 அழுத்தவும். உங்கள் கையில் செக் புக் இருந்தால் என் 2 அழுத்தவும். Which one, how many of you like this experience? Don't think from business perspective. You as individuals like this experience. Tell me honestly. Monday pichikirama illaya? Sammakadi. But you know, as an entrepreneur, what you will do when you scale up? You see, ப்ரொடக்டிவாக இருக்கணும்னா நம்ம நிறைய கஸ்டமர் ஹேண்டில் பண்ணணும்னா ஆட்டோமேட் பண்ணுவோம். எல்லாத்தையும் ஆட்டோமேட் பண்ணுவோம். லெட்ஸ் ஆட்டோமேட், பிகாஸ் we have to be productive, we have to save cost, right? So now you understand the paradox. When you think like a customer, how what make you unhappy, and when you become an entrepreneur, what makes, நம்ம எப்படி டிசைட் பண்ணுறோம்? நான் உங்களே கேட்கல, ஈவன் என்னையும் சேர்த்து தான் சொல்கிறேன். So these are some of the things which we need. The topic came customer ecstasy nights. On one side, we are in the first segment, we have asked you to think about human centricity. On the other side, even normal day-to-day interactions, if you think from a human standpoint, it will make sense. You can make people happy. When they are happy, when they interact with you at the personal level, when I go and meet someone in Andhra Chamber of Commerce, I'm interacting, they will remember me. If I நாளைக்கு ஃபியூச்சரில் ஏதாவது என்கேஜ்மெண்ட்ஸ், நாளைக்கு ஃபியூச்சரில் ஏதாவது கொலாபரேஷன்ஸ், they will remember me rather than sending a conventional message, right? There is a company called Zappos. You can study this company. They openly mention their phone number in their website and allow and recruit people and allow customers to talk to them. What will happen is, see, some notice, most of you are small business owners, right? You will display the phone numbers in your website now, and your team will talk to customers. But what happens when you grow big is you fall into the trap of growth. Big businesses like Ola, we all know that we are facing a challenge, right? Driver challenge, cancellation. But why they have not corrected it? Have you thought about it? ஐஆர்சிடிசியில் போகும்போது டாய்லெட் போகிறதுக்கு எவ்வளோ சிரமப்படுறோம், உட்காந்து போகிறதுக்கு. எங்கேயாவது போனால் ஆடும் ஏதாவது. Why they have not corrected it? Why they are taking so much time? Because it's a big network business. நமக்கு அதை தவிர வேறு ஆல்டர்னேட்டிவே இல்லை. If I don't get any Ola or Uber, I am not going to use any other. That's the assumption. If I don't get a proper service in a government, a railway system, there is no alternative available. But whereas for us, small businesses, there are hell a lot of opportunities for customers available, right? The point which I am trying to drive across is, be a small business startup. Even if you grow, try to retain that charm, magic. Now, small business meet பண்ணும்போது, the main advantage which Amazon doesn't have and my local retailer has is, வாங்க ராஜேஷ் எப்படி இருக்கீங்க? Amazon don't have that opportunity. Now they scale, and we need to know that the game between Amazon and Walmart also. If you want to, நீங்க என்னோட logic, if I want to put forth to you, how Amazon and Walmart is the number one revenue generator in the whole world, right? And their competition is Amazon. Walmart's revenue is around $440 billion yearly. Amazon's revenue is around $340-50 billion. What Amazon is doing is they are building physical stores now. They are opening up a lot of physical stores. They have bought a big supermarket chain called Whole Foods. They are entering into the physical retail store market. And what these guys at Walmart is doing is they are emulating e-commerce. See what's happening? The paradox. Amazon, a full-fledged offline retailer, is trying to build physical capabilities to meet customers. Walmart is the biggest physical retail store shop, and they are building capabilities to serve customers offline. So this company, this gentleman by the name Steve Weinstein, he works for a company called Zappos, where he spoke, it's a Guinness record, he spoke with one particular customer for more than 10 hours 43 minutes in one call. That company has allowed him to do that. Zappos is a company which is known for customer delight. They don't set parameters on calls. They don't have a parameter to upsell. What happens is, when you take a loan from a financial service provider, immediately every week you get a call on upsells, right? How many of you agree? Sir, you personal loan வாங்கிருந்தீங்க sir. அந்த loan வேணுமா, அந்த loan வேணுமா? Gone, you're gone. This company has a policy of never ever upsell the company, and don't hesitate to spend time casually on calls. And if you don't have the product which is not available, the product which customer is asking you, do a research and suggest some competitor companies to your customers. These are some of the policies. See, as a business, as customers, நமக்கு இதெல்லாம் ப்ராப்ளமா இருக்கு, இந்த IVR and all the other things. But as entrepreneurs, அந்த சைடு ஆஃப் ஈக்குவேஷன்ல போனோம்னா நம்மளோட திங்கிங்கே மாறிடும். As a marketer, I sometimes now entrepreneurs நான் பேசும்போது, when I discuss with them or when I speak in like in this forum, I try to bring balance. Sometimes people may even mistake me, but I try to bring balance between entrepreneurship and customer delight, because now let's take an example of this call center thing. The more we speak with people, the more you get opportunity. Like this gentleman we have seen, Doug Deach, earlier during GE, he met the customer real time. That is when he saw an opportunity. When our team or people interact with customers in real world, they get to know the opportunity, because today people are craving for human connection, right? So the game changer is not just technology. The game changer is technology and human component. So whenever we innovate, whatever systems which we use, without human component, it tends to fail. Facebook is a successful technology because they have adopted human psychology in it, engineered with variable rewards, engineered with social validation, all those social media sites which I am talking about. So now comes to the final and critical point as to, can we shun technology together as an entrepreneur in my organization? No. Why? Because let's take this Andhra Chamber of Commerce example, which we have done. Not everyone can come and wish you at your office, right? Today, what technology has done is, if we understand this, we will understand most about engagement. Earlier, we operated in a world where every interaction happens on a physical world, but that cannot be scaled, right? Not everyone. Let's say, for example, if today I celebrate my birthday, my friend, school friend who is there in my native place, Tanjavur, cannot come and wish me. You're getting my point. But today, in today's world, he can wish me through Facebook, he can wish me through WhatsApp, he can fix up a Zoom session with me and wish me, rather than coming and meeting me in person. Everything boils down to only two things: what is scalable and what is unscalable. If we are an entrepreneur or a marketer or trying to build customer delight in today's world, we need to use technology to do things at scale. When you employ technology, for example, when you incorporate a chat bot in your website, unga company website la nariya traffic varanga, 10,000, let's say 10,000 people are coming visiting your website. You cannot serve all those 10,000 people with 5,000 employees, right? It's practically impossible. Let all those chatbots, because that's where we are moving towards, right? Ellame chat, bots is slowly entering into our life. So we need to adopt technology. We need to use it to scale. Let me come back to that website example. 10,000 visitors are coming to my website. Let's use my technology to serve all those 10,000 people at scale, and then some high net worth value customers. The numbers will be very less. I need to bring in, because when I use technology, I don't need many people in my office. Very little people. This is what companies have started doing. Companies like Disney, they make those people bring real human connection. They ask people to speak to their customers over phone n number of minutes, because your technology is taking care of all the mundane things. You can ask your employees to go and meet customers. If you're running a retail firm, give high importance to people who are entering into the shop. Not like when customers are there in front, idhu nama paathirvom. The other person in the store, காதுல phone வச்சிட்டே நம்மள்ட்ட டீல் பண்ணிட்டு இருப்பாங்க. It irritates us, right? When people are there right in front of us, it means you're all sitting right in front of me and listening to me. It's the most valuable moment for me. Even for brands, companies. So on one side, let's use technology for things to scale. On the other side, let's balance it with the human element. People component, servicing, and all those things. That will be a game changer. That's what companies are doing as we move forward. Let's adopt technology, parallelly balance it with human element. So today, I've shared two key points, concepts with you. Number one, we have seen a story of this gentleman, Doug Deitch, where he innovated his conventional technology, an MRI scan device using human-centric approach. He has just told a different story using the same device. And another one is we discussed about how to bring a balance between offline world and the online world. Yeah, we have drawn this cartoon just to illustrate that. How many of you would have remembered this has happened in my home? During the pandemic, even I got into an assumption saying that future is off-tail. I was listening to a Zoom session where at this end of second wave, my wife casually asked me, வாங்க கொஞ்சம் அந்த மால் வரைக்கும் போயிட்டு வரலாம் அப்படின்னு. I thought, okay, we are on one side, I'm hearing something like future is retail, future is offline. My wife, she's asking me to go out and purchase something in the offline world. So that's when we draw this cartoon. So 3 book suggestions for you as we end this call, as we end this session. Most of the case studies which I have discussed. Number 1, case study of Doug Deitch. I took it from Creative Confidence. It's a book written by David Kelly. He's a founder of a world's famous design thinking company called IDEO. You can emulate them. A lot of ideas, you can go back and casually refer to them. When I said you need to go beyond products and services and understand customers, why people are using your products and services at a much deeper level, you could refer a book written by famous Harvard professor Clayton Christensen. He calls this book as Competing Against Drug. And the third one, when I shared the experience of Zappos, they totally changed how the call center system and customer service. You could refer the book written by Tony Hsieh, CEO. It's called Delivering Happiness. Both these two gentlemen, Clayton Christensen and Tony Hsieh, they have passed away recently. So these three books I would recommend to you. If you don't have time to read this book, you can even type these book titles and next word summary. This is how I quickly grab books if you don't have time. Creative Confidence, summary. Type it in Google. You'll get some summary. You can finish it off in 10-15 minutes time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Now the floor is open for question and answer.
And one more thing, important thing which I thought of, I forgot. Even this invitation, I got personally from Andhra Chamber of Commerce. They could have easily sent it through WhatsApp. Sent us, Kalyana Patrikala WhatsApp. They have sent a person to my home for invitation. So immediately I was moved by that gesture and even informed Anand also. I mean, when we discussed about human engagement, personalized intimacy, I was meaning something like this.
Any questions?
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
May now invite Mr. Nar.
Yep.
So, see, I just want to share something. So, we send cakes to our customers on their birthdays. It was just to keep them, be in touch with them. It's not selling anything, nothing. So, we just say you are in our mind. That's it.
Good. Very good. Very good example. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you so much.
May now invite Mr. Narasimhan, EC member of the chamber, to present the memento to the speaker, please. Thank you, sir. The CEO of Tansim could not join for the meeting today due to an urgent meeting